Pleased and proud to be here in Scottsbluff to bring you what is becoming one of the premier all-star games in the state. And what better way to start the 1989 football season with a good old-fashioned all-star game Western style. And with me is former Cornhusker football star Adrian Fiala. And Adrian, this is really becoming quite an event.
I'll tell you what, Bill, it really has. This is the 12th annual game, as you mentioned. And I tell you, these people out here really roll the carpet out, not only for the players, but also for the media. And I personally just love coming out here to do this football game. And once again, we've got, well, it's going to be a pretty nice night for football. 2 years ago, we were out here. It was a beautiful night for football. We have a little bit of a threat maybe from the sky, but I think we'll get it in.
Well, both teams have won 5 games in this series. There has been one tie, but really there's no better way to showcase what this part of the state has to offer in terms of the scenery and really the talent on the football field.
Tremendous scenery, tremendous hospitality, as we talked about earlier, Bill. And I'll tell you that the West team is relying this year on speed, motion, lots of sets. Terry Gilliland has promised to, that's the head coach of the West team, has promised to really open it up and let her rip. It's interesting, Bill, he said the key, as far as he sees it, is his offensive center. Now, how many times have you seen a coach say offensive center? Darren Van Winkle will be going up against Scott Benda, who is the premier nose guard from the East team. He thinks that's a key element.
From Ord, Nebraska, number 29, Richard McKinney. From Minden, number 30, Corey Sheen. Also from Ord, number 31, Scott Benda. From North Platte St. Patrick's, number 34, Kevin Dodson. From Broken Bow, number 35, Craig Stump. Number 41 from Angeli, Lance Rohde. From Amherst, number 42, Bart Eckhout. From Litchfield High School, number 44, Jim Holm. From Cambridge, number 45, Troy Paisley. From Kearney Catholic, number 51, Mike Dakin. From Ainsworth, number 54, John Frew. J.J. Rank of North Platte St. Patrick's. Number 61 from Cambridge, Tom Drews. Number 62, also from Cambridge, Sean Johnson. Number 63, Sean Lupkeys of Minden. From North Platte St. Patrick's, number 66, Jason Langford. Mark Mills of Ansley High School, number 71. Number 75 from North Platte St. Pat's, John Harvat. Number 76, Jeremy Miller of Ainsworth High School. Steve Edgren, number 77 from Holdridge. From Broken Bow, number 78, Carly Wells. From Hildreth, number 79, Brad First. From Ord, number 80, Jason Wentz. And from Loop City, number 81, Jamie Mitzelfelt. The assistant coaches from Cozad High School, Gene Hunning. From Elm Creek, Stan Whistle. And the head coach for the East from North Platte St. Patrick's, Mark Skilstad. And now let's meet the players from the West squad. Number 7 from Scottsbluff, Jeff Palzer. From Rushville, number 8, Rick Hinn. From Shadron, number 10, Mike Coombs. From Imperial High School, number 12, Jay Bubach. From Minutair, number 14, Mark Buckhammer. From Sydney St. Patrick's, number 21, John Tedesco. From Scottsbluff, number 25, Nate Green. From Mitchell, number 27, Troy Gilliland. From Perkins County High, number 30, Kerry Lowe. From Gordon, number 32, Gary Flukinger. From Ogallala, number 36, Tim Phillipson. From Sutherland, number 38, Jason Main. From Morrill High, number 40, Sean Ryan. From Gordon, number 42, Corey Hiller. From Shadron, number 44, Dana Edwards. From Chapel, number 50, Darren Van Winkle. From Oshkosh, number 52, Chris Artesano. From Alliance High School, number 56, Roger Rohrbuck. From Imperial, number 64, Destry Wallin. From Sydney, Nebraska, number 68, Brad Nienhauser. From Mitchell, number 70, Jim Hessler. From Bayard, number 72, Mike Armstrong. From Bayard High School, number 74, Aaron Ravenberg. From Perkins County High, number 76, Mark Lagler. From Hyannis, number 78, Ted Garner. From Shadron High, number 79, Craig Wallace. From Sydney, Nebraska, number 80, Nick Vigil. From Kimball, number 81, John Stair. From Mitchell, number 82, Todd Hilliard. From Alliance High School, number 84, Jason Triddle. From Imperial High School, number 88, Kent Wine. And from Minutair, number 90, Rod Jackson. From Rushville, number 94, Mike Jaggers. The coaches for the West squad, Mark Bishop of Minutair, Scott Rasmussen of Rushville High School, Marlon Twiliger of Grant Perkins County High School, and the head coach for the West squad, Terry Gilliland, head coach and AD at Mitchell High School. Well, when we woke up today, they promised us 100-degree weather in Scottsbluff, and we just haven't seen it so far, and the skies have cleared off a little bit, and the temperatures have dropped. It's 81 degrees. Skies are a little cloudy, but they're clearing. Winds are calm, and the humidity is a nice 33%.
Tell you what, Bill, I'm glad that it's not that 100-degree mark either as we take a look at the teams lined up, and there is one of the officials. It's the referee, Bill Steele. The umpire this evening will be Jim Kruger, Junior Alvarez, the linesman, line judge, Steve Morris, and the back judge, Paul Edens.
Well, we are set to go in the 12th annual West Nebraska All-Star Football Classic. The West won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half, and the East will do the receiving.
You know, I'm not surprised that Terry Gilliland deferred as far as the kickoff goes, Bill, because he has a lot of confidence in that defense. So much so that he said, if we get the ball 4th and 5 outside of our 30-yard line, we may just keep it and try to go because I have enough confidence in our defense that we can, hold them. So I'll tell you, in an all-star game, that's saying a lot about a bunch of kids put together in 8 days. Here we go.
I wanted to say the West won the squad. They deferred, and we are just set to go. Kerry Lowe will do the honors of kickoff for the West. And we're underway, and the balloons are flying up. It's kind of hard to tell. East looks like they're going to start with pretty good field position around the 35-yard line.
I think it was Virgil Bonjoff that fielded that, number 24. It was hard to see amongst all the balloons, all the pageantry that occurred just on that kickoff, Bill, but I do believe Virgil Bonjoff on the return.
We thought we might be back at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln.
There's the offensive backs and receivers. Chad Murray at quarterback, Evan Dodson, Craig Stumpf at the running backs. Missed the rest of offensive line, Jeremy Miller, Mills, Drews, Lipkes, and First in the line.
East will run out of the veer. Murray across that 35. He'll get pickup 2, but he runs into the line of the West.
Open up with that option play, the veer option immediately.
Looked like Mike Jaggers came in from his left defensive end spot, and they'll be second down and call it 7.
There you see the West team defense, Artesano, Rohrbach, Armstrong, Phillipson, and Jaggers in the line. At the backs and linebackers, Ryan Gilliland, Lowe, Tedesco, Main, and Hiller.
Second down and 8. Chad Murray over the center. Hands off to his fullback. Fighting for yards just around that 45. I think he's going to be short of the first down.
I think there was Kevin Dotson, number 34, the fullback from North Platte. Seven players from North Platte in this game.
Kerry Lowe coming up from his monster position, making the stop. And referees say he does just have enough, and they move the chains. First down and 10 for the East squad.
Bill, I want to just point out here early in the game that there are some defensive rules, and we'll get into that maybe right after this play.
Skillstad said before the game that he was going to run a power attack, a lot of running, and that's what he wanted to establish, and he's doing that now. Murray picks the crossbar, gets about 4 yards across the 45, just shy of the 50.
Should point out that each team has to run a 5-2 defense. There is no permitted, or actually blitzing by the linebackers is not permitted. No slanting by the defensive line. As we see the play again, the quarterback, just a reverse spin. The quarterback fakes one way, comes back the other as you try to draw that backer off or the other direction.
Crossbuck play is stopped by Mike Jaggers. Tim Phillipson, I believe, is on the way through the fullback out of that veer offense.
But as I pointed out earlier, Bill, no blitzing, no slanting by the line. However, once the team gets the ball to the 10-yard line, inside that 10-yard line, anything goes. It's open season.
Craig Stumpf on the carry for the East squad. Murray calling the starting count. Little dive off the left side into the line of the West team. Jason Main and Chris Artesano on the stop.
Well, Mark Skillstad told us yesterday that he was going to play power football, and that's all we've seen thus far. He's setting the tempo, at least as far as the East is concerned, on offense, running that veer option. Get in there and mix it up. 4th down and 2, and the West team sending a couple players deep, but Skillstad going to gamble early. They're inside West territory, about the 46. Little drama early. Oh, I don't know. Great play up front there. I think that was 30. Was that number 36? Is that Tim Phillipson? We'll have to take a look at it again.
The dive was to Lance Rohde in what Skillstead calls his big back attack. He puts two of his bigger players in.
Take a look right here, Bill, and see who made that hit if we can. Underneath there, no, it wasn't number 36. It was, who was that, 94? Mike Jaggers. Great play by Mike Jaggers. We're going to see what the chain says right now. Officials have the tape out. Jaggers coming down from his end position.
Just enough, officials say. First down and 10, so the second first down of the ball game for the East squad. They're in the blue. They're moving right to left on your screen. And Skillstead said yesterday, the number one thing we want to do is establish the run. And they've been able to do that. They've been pound away, and they get a little run every now and then.
He's going after his goal so far.
First down and 10. Crossbach, that's Dodson. Met head on by a swarm of West defenders, but not before he got, looks like 4 or 5 yards.
Kerry Lowe that time came up to make the hit on Dotson amongst all the other people. As you see it again right here. Just a crossbuck type of action. You try to get the linebacker again going a different way if he's keying that offside back. You get the crossbuck going, you draw him away, and then come back the other side.
Split to the near side is Jamie Mitzelfeld. Murray looking to bootleg. Fumble on the play. Murray's got it himself, but he's knocked all the way back to the 50-yard line.
I think that was number 52 that caused that action up front, Chris Artesano. He's from Oshkosh, Nebraska, 6'1", 185-pounder. You'll see it right here. You'll see Artesano just come in there and rip that ball out right there. Good job. And then some alert work by Murray to recover and then put it away and take the loss.
Troy Paisley really did a nice job of blocking, but he just got his hand in there and knocked the ball away from Murray. Third down and 15 now for the East. Motion man is Jay Ostermeyer. Dropping back to pass is Murray. He's got some room to run, but he's not going to get the first down. That'll make it 4th down.
Mark Skillstead, head coach for the East, said that Chad Murray is probably one of the finest athletes that he's ever had the opportunity to coach. Saw a little bit of that ability right there, and then on the play previously to pick up that bounding fumble and put it away and save field position for the East team. We're going to look at a punt right now, Bill.
Shane Height back to do the duties for the East. This is an area that concerned him. Skillstead, that is. Fair catch called for at about the 12-yard line. And that's Gary Flukinger calling for it. He'll be the starting fullback.
Well, I tell you what, I'm ready for this for the West offense as we take a look at that offensive club coming on to the team. There's the offensive backs and receivers. Buback at quarterback, Flukinger at fullback, Gilliland, Vigil, Wine, and Palzer at split in. The line, Lagler, Nienhauser, Van Winkle, Hessler, and Wallane. I should say Nienhauser.
You're going to be calling that too. Terry Gilliland said he's been quite a character in camp, and so we've got a couple stories to relate to you later on. Motion man is Gilliland. Buback with a dive, trying to get a little breathing room back there.
One of the things that head coach Terry Gilliland told us yesterday is that you're going to see a lot of motion and a lot of sets on the very first play. Defensive line for the East, Sock, Wells, Benda, Edgren, and J.J. Rank from North Platte St. Pat's. Defensive backs and backers, Dimmitt, Swanson, Langford, McKinney, Rohde, and Corey Sheen.
Steve Edgren on the last tackle for the East squad. Jay Buback of Imperial calling this count for the West team. Gilliland again in motion to the near side. Dropping back quick out. Palzer slipped down. He might have had a chance to catch it, but he slipped about the 20.
Well, I'll tell you what, a gentleman by the name of Eric Sock just put the sock on the receiver that time. The West team attempting to throw that short out or that short pass, that quick pass, to try to get a one-on-one situation. Didn't work that time. The ball overthrown, and Eric Sock was there anyway to make the hit. And or I should say, to make the sock. One-on-one
is what Terry Gilliland wants to do. That's well known out here that he's got the faster squad, and Skillstead knows it, Gilliland knows it, and he said, Skillstead quite frankly said, it scares me. He's frightened of that speed.
More motion.
3rd down and 8. Here's a handoff to the motion man. That's Gilliland. He just might have stepped out of bounds just enough for the first down. He knocked the marker. We'll have to check it out. I think the officials will have a timeout.
Play worked just like it's designed to work and pick up about 6 to 7 yards. You see that very fast motion with Gilliland coming from the other side, and then a quick handoff. The point there is to try to get that defensive team you get those people out there quickly. The defensive team just does not have a time or any time to react to the play, and all of a sudden there's a 5 to 6 yard pickup, and that's what they anticipated to do. That's the way the play is drawn, and that's the way it worked.
And that's why Gilliland's using that speed. He's got his son, that's Troy Gilliland, in that slot position, and Gilliland was quite honest saying, I've got some fast kids. He's got a couple of kids that run right around 11 flat 100 meters, but just not fast enough, apparently.
A little bit short, it looks, Bill, on that run. Troy Gilliland runs a 10.8 100 meters and a 4.640, so he can motor. What are they, about a yard short?
About a yard, half yard short. They're going to punt.
Now, where are they at? They're at about the 22-yard line.
Stick 'em, guys!
Calling it 4th down and 1. Gilliland said yesterday that if he was outside his 35, he was going to go for it every time. But down in this, deep in this territory, I think he's going to.
Well, that huddle looks interesting. We'll see.
Doing the punting is Kent Wine. Back deep for the East squad is Virgil Bonjoff and Jay Ostermeyer. And those are 2 players that are the speed demons of the East squad. Wine's punt, kind of a wobbler. Picked up by Ostermeyer. He's across the 50. Not a lot of room to run, but he's making it himself. Across the 40 and out of bounds about the 38-yard line.
Good job that time by Ostermeyer, and head coach Mark Skillstad told us yesterday that Ostermeyer is the guy they want to get the ball to, both on the returns and also in the passing game. He has great moves, and he will be effective on the special teams. There you see he's going to field that ball cleanly, and now he's going to walk a jagged edge. In and out, all on his own. No help up front. A missed tackle there again. Another one right here and out of bounds. So good job that time by Ostermeyer in that one-on-one situation.
And Murray brings his team up to the line, 1st and 10, but we've got a official's timeout. The scoreboard tells us we have 94 minutes to go in the first quarter, so I think we're going to try and get that squared away.
Ostermeyer on the year last year, Bill, 10 punt returns for 272 yards and 5 kickoff returns for 217 yards. So the kid knows what to do with the pig when he gets the kick.
Skillstead called him a jitterbug yesterday.
Tell you what, we're going to be here all night.
Well, we're just getting underway.
I think they like us so well, they want to put more time on the board, and we like them so well. There is the referee. It's Bill Steele. There is Terry Gilliland. We've talked about him quite a bit. Gary Bishop there in your screen also.
Gilliland was a real delight in the coaches' meetings yesterday.
You bet.
Really helpful. Both coaches really were helpful in giving us a little orientation into their teams.
I tell you what really pleased me the most about the whole situation is both coaches. The first comment they made about being here and what they were here for is they said, we're here to have fun, and we're here to let the kids play, and everybody is going to play. Sure, they want to win. All these kids are competitors, and each team wants to win very badly. But they said, hey, we want to have fun, and we want to have these kids play and have a good time. So that's their objective. And there's part of the good crowd that we have here tonight. Very supportive crowd this evening. And the community, of course, extremely supportive of this whole program out here.
They've done a tremendous job. They really made us feel at home. We got out here and really took us around, got us acclimated to the 2 teams, the 2 head coaches, and it was really made everything go fairly smooth here in Scottsbluff.
Should point out also, Bill, this afternoon they also had, as part of the festivities and the competition this weekend, they have a volleyball match between the Lady All-Stars of the girls teams. I'm not sure how that competition came out this evening. Maybe we can find out as we draw this thing into the evening. But again, the volleyball competition and the football competition. I think there's going to be some golf competition tomorrow too, but I'm just not sure how that's going to come out.
I don't think that's going to come out very well because I think you and I are in that. So
I was going to say, are there any predictions? Well, we have a break here in the action. I think we're still trying to fix that clock. It's still stuck at 94:50.
And on 4th down and 1. But
we got some progress there.
And we're back.
And we're back.
It'll be 1st down and 10 for the East squad when they take possession.
Talking with Mark Skillstad, he said, some of our kids, in addition to enjoying this opportunity and all the things this game means, I asked him yesterday, I said, well, what are some of the unusual things that happened? He said, well, probably one of the most unusual is that a lot of my players were able to watch MTV for the first time. He said a lot of the kids that live out in the country just don't have the MTV, and here they do. And a lot of those kids were stuck to MTV, so they were real pleased about that situation.
I think Jim Ferenkopf's got Terry Gilliland on the sidelines.
Okay, Terry, how's it going so far?
Oh, I think really pretty good. They've had good field position, and I was pleased with our defense there. We got a little confused in that fourth down thing when they went for it, but we just about stopped them. First time we got the ball, and we had an incomplete pass, and the man was wide open. Our only running play went for 9 yards.
Great, Coach. Back to you, Bill.
Terry Gilliland of Mitchell High School. His son Troy in the backfield. On offense, we'll play a little defensive back, too, for him tonight.
And his son Todd, quite an athlete also for his dad back in Mitchell. Speedster, could run, played in the Shrine Bowl at Lincoln. Excellent player.
Terry's been an assistant coach in this game. He's been an assistant coach in the Shrine Bowl. He's been around high school football for 26 years, and you look on his information sheet just to see how well he's done. He's got a couple of runner-up teams, but they asked his career record, and he says, I really don't pay any attention to that. I haven't kept track.
Yeah, it was that was a very amusing comment that he had on his bio sheet. As you mentioned, he also was defensive coordinator, Bill, at Peru State in 1980, and they were ranked second in the nation, as I understand it. So he knows what to do on offense. He knows what to do on defense. And I tell you what, in talking to him yesterday and talking to Mark Skillstad, the head coach for the East team, two very, very fine individuals, and it really pleases me to see those kind of people associated with high school football as we now look at 450. And, well, we're not on the moon, folks. That is not the limb.
We are in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and we are at Bearcat Stadium, and we are live bringing you the 12th annual West Nebraska All-Star Football Game. I believe we're underway, but we also have 94 minutes to go in the first quarter. That's our delay.
Well, we've always talked about the truck. Now you've seen the truck. Who's in the truck? Well, we're back to what now? Well, looks like we're going to have a hand time, though, with the referees on the field, and while they hopefully get the big clock repaired.
The referees are going to do a little more work than they anticipated here tonight in the All-Star game. Tonight's attendance just over 2,024 here at Bearcat Stadium, and I would imagine that there might be a couple more here show up as this game progresses. A lot of people throughout this part of the state are really, really excited about what goes on here in Scottsbluff during this week, and it's just a really enthusiastic atmosphere.
This game has a lot of meaning to the people out here in the western part of Nebraska. There's a lot of support, enthusiasm, as Bill mentioned, and it's really good to see, and these kids really look forward. It's a goal of theirs to get into this ball game. Here we go.
Chad Murray, the quarterback for the East, calls the count. On the option, that's Banjoff along the far side, but he can't get by the defensive pursuit of the West team.
I think that was Roger. Is that Roger Rohrbach out there? We'll see it again right here. He's going to option the end now. The end comes up free, but he can't make the tackle, and I'm not sure if that was Rohrbach or not. And then we'll see Dotson heading out to the outside. A good open field tackle that time by the East squad.
Nate Green of Scottsbluff coming up from the defensive back position. Second down and just about, we'll call it 9, it's more like 10.
With the movement there.
Murray with the drop back to pass. He's got Ostermeyer, but he can't get to him. Intercepted.
Looks like John
Tedesco with the interception.
Going to see that again here now. Murray taking the drop. It's an option pass. It's designed to watch here. Now he's going to go down the line like an option, try to keep everybody in. Then he'll make the drop. They're covered to the left. He's looking for a secondary receiver. Nobody there. Then he forces the ball right into the coverage. Now you see 3 people there. The receiver goes down. He's looking for a flag in the background, but Tedesco, he doesn't worry about that. He's on the way upfield. So good alert play by number 21. That's John Tedesco out of Sidney, Nebraska, and he's a character. He is one of the full-fledged card-carrying characters on that West team.
Single set back behind Bubak for the West. And the give is to number 32. Lance Rohde coming up to make the play.
Flukinger that time on the carry. He'll play some monster back for the West team and also play fullback whenever you see him in there. And he's number 32, as I mentioned. It's probably going to be that fullback dive. He's just a good, strong power runner right up the middle. And again, we saw motion as Terry Gilliland talked about.
Yeah, he wanted to really mix up the defensive backfield for the East squad. And that single setback, he said, we'll run out of that quite a bit of the time instead of looking for the pass, as most teams do with this formation. Buback in the count. Motion to the near side. Quick pass to Pulser. He's got it behind, but Brody's out there on the coverage. And knocked out of bounds. Jim Ferenkov's got somebody on the sidelines.
Well, it's just there. The tight end rolled out, and I saw the ball coming, so I just stepped up in front and picked it off. Just did what I was supposed to.
Boy, you guys are really hyped up over here. You really want this game, don't you?
Oh, yeah, they're a little bit heavier and stronger than us, but we're ready to go. And we're a lot faster, but I think we're more pumped up.
Great. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
John Tedesco. John Tedesco is a player that really knows what to do with the ball when he gets it. Last season as a junior, he was a D2 All-State selection, rushing for over 1,600 yards, but he had 38 touchdowns, and that's incredible. But he broke a hand earlier in this year and kind of here on his honors, and he's really a player worthy of being here. 1st and 10. Oh, the scoreboard says 1st and 10. We've got about a 3rd down and 11. Buback with heavy pressure from J.J. Rank gets out of that, but he's in trouble. And out of bounds on the near sideline.
You're talking about some good hitting right there and good pressure that time by number 60 from the East. That's J.J. Rank out of North Platte St. Patrick's. He couldn't quite make the tackle, but he was able to stop that quarterback or delay the quarterback. You'll see it right here now. Buback dropping on his drop back. Rank grabbing a hold, not able to bring him down, but he slowed him down. Now watch this. Boom. Some great hitting up there. I didn't pick up the numbers, but
I think that was
whoever it
Lance
was.
Rhodey.
Okay. I'm not surprised because he's a great hitter. Rhodey is.
Linebackers from the East are pretty aggressive. We're going to have a 4th down and call it 11. No gain on the play. Another punt coming up for the West squad. Ostermeyer and Bonjoff back deep. Wines punt coming down to Ostermeyer about the 27. Trying to set up the reverse. Fakes it. Ostermeyer.
He's got some room.
30.
Great play.
Run down from behind. Number 44, Jim Holm of Litchfield High School. Dragging down Jay Ostermeyer.
See it again here. Ostermeyer on the reverse now. It's designed, of course, to deceive that team in pursuit. You'll fake the handoff here. He did have some room. And well, we won't see it.
Ran a long way towards the sideline,
Yeah.
but not too far upfield.
Yeah.
It was good pursuit by the punt coverage. Bonjoff on the crossbuck across the 45 to about the 46. Call it 2nd down.
Virgil Bonjoff headed to Chadron State this fall. He runs a 4.640. Good speed, 5'8", and 155 pounds.
Mike Coombs coming out from his linebacker position to make the stop.
Bonjoff was All-State, first-teamer All-State last year also.
2nd down and about 7, just outside the 45-yard line. Murray down the line, hands off to Bonjoff. He's got some room. He needs one man to beat. He's not going to do it, but he's like into West territory, across the 40 to about the 38.
Just that quick opener on the option. They're looking for the option play, the quarterback to option. See it again right here. And he reads that number 52 right there for the West. The quarterback will read. That's Chris Artesano. And then Bonjoff is off to the races.
Sean Ryan, the right side cornerback, making the stop.
Good piece of quick work up front there, not only by Bonjoff, but also by the line to just open up enough of a crack in that line, Bill, to get him through. Well, what have we got down here now? A little problem?
Referee's whistle stops play again.
Well, it looks like they've got the clock working now. It looks the clock's winding down, and the referee is indicating that there's 4 minutes, 4 seconds left in this first quarter. So maybe they're going to run it down. We're at 6:53 and counting right now. There you get a shot of it. So a couple of minutes here.
Had plenty of time to talk about set the game up.
Well, I was real interested earlier on when we talked with Terry Gilliland, the West coach, and he said, I really think the key to our team is our center, Darren Van Winkle, because he's got to go up against Scott Benda, who we think is the best player on the East team.
1st down and 10 for the East. They're moving right to left on your screen. Bonjoff again on the crossbuck. He's got some room to run once again. Breaking off tackles across the 25 down to the 23-yard line.
Good job up front again that time, blocking on the right side, by the right side of that East line. You'll see it here. Reverse spin by Murray, and now Bonjoff reads it. It's almost, it almost looks like that deep curl trap, but it's not. It's simply that last block up front. You'll see the West team run that deep curl trap.
Bonjoff gained 1,300 yards. Was a C2 All-State running back at Cambridge. And he's been the workhorse so far here for the East here in the first quarter. Another dive, this time Dodson. Not a lot of room to run, trying to pick and choose his way. But it'll be no gain in second down.
East team, of course, as we have indicated earlier, using that strength to overpower that West squad, at least up front so far.
And that's something that Terry Gilliland was afraid of, that strength might play into the ball control offense that Mark Skillstead wanted to play. And they've been doing just that. He was afraid that the East would get the ball 6 or 7 minutes to crack, and they've done pretty good with the ball control. Second down, call at 9. Ostermeyer in motion to the near side. Murray on the draw to Bonjoff. Across the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Roger Warbuck on the tackle.
And I think Tim Phillipson had a little bit to do with it also, Bill. He's on the Doan, either Doan or Hastings College this fall.
That's quite a rivalry to be choosing from between Doan and Hastings. That NIAC battle is quite a rivalry, and they're going to get a good player, whichever one gets it. Third down, call it 4. About the 17-yard line. Chad Murray, the quarterback. Down the line he goes. Hand off to Dodson. He's across the 10, down to the 8-yard line. So Chad Murray playing his fullbacks very well in that lead handoff on the running the option. They haven't been able to get around the outside.
See it here again. Just a quick handoff to Dodson. Dodson 5'10", 185 pounds. Picked up 1,200 yards last year rushing. He was an All-State member. Just a tough, hard-nosed runner. Going to the University of Nebraska this fall.
First down and 10, or first down and goal to go just inside the 10, about the 8-yard line. Murray to Bonjoff, across the 5, down to the 3.
Bill, we might mention right here now, they are inside the 10, so as far as defensive maneuvers go, and any tactics that you want to use, it's open season, as I mentioned earlier. Inside the 10, you can blitz, you can slunt. Let's try slant. I'll get it right one of these days. But again, just anything goes down inside the 10, except you can't use ball bats.
Power football is what the East is running, and they're threatening here early in the first quarter. Murray to Dodson, down around the goal line. And did he get in? I don't think he did. He's just shy.
Well, I'll tell you what, he did the old pile drive on one of the backs. Just knocked him back about 2 yards, but he is short. Just very short. That'll make it about third down and 4 inches.
Well, when he gets down around that goal line, Skillstead knows exactly what Dodson can do because he played for him at North Platte St. Patrick's. Gained just about 1,200 yards for him his senior season. Third down, just outside the goal line. And a referee's whistle is going to stop play, and I think we're at the end of the first quarter. And we are. The two teams will trade sides. It's been all East so far on offense. That's the end of the first quarter. Our score is the East 0 and the West 0. We'll return with more of the 1989 West Nebraska All-Star Football game after this on the Nebraska ETV Network.
I'm E.G. Marshall. Join me for a rare and joyous birth and the baby's first tentative steps. Meet Daphne Sheldrick, whose home is haven to a pair of 400-pound orphans. And visit a different kind of rodeo, Elephant, the life and times of an awesome giant.
See it Monday night at 7 on Nebraska Public Television.
I'm Peter Graves, a musical partner who never gets the blues. 100-million-year-old bones that become a dinosaur. And the talking glove.
Hello.
Next on Discover the World of Science.
See it Wednesday at 7.
Watch Sunday Cinema Sunday nights at 10:30. This is your Nebraska ETV network originating from the University of Nebraska, Lincoln.
We are back live at Bearcat Stadium in Scottsbluff. The East team is threatening. We are just getting set to go with second quarter action. Third down and less than one. The East is inside the 1-yard line, threatening to score. Chad Murray over center. Down the line he goes to Dodson, and he's in. Touchdown for the East.
Simple dive play. You almost had to expect that kind of situation. As good a yardage they've been making over that right side, and there you'll see it once again. Dodson simply over from about a 4-inch touchdown. But he'll take him any way he can get him. Don't you worry. There you see it right there. He's having fun. It's good to see.
Mike Jagers came in from his defensive end position to try and make the stop, but Dodson just too strong inside that goal line area. Corey Sheen will try and put the finishing touches on with the extra point, and he does. The kick is up and good. And just inside, 4 seconds inside the second period, and the East is on the board. They lead it 7-0 over the West.
Well, again, we talked about power football, and that's what the East used to maneuver its way down the field. No big surprise there. Mark Skillstad tuned into that option play and using those big backs and that strong side of that offensive line, the right side, to move the team down the field.
Well, the West can't be too concerned. They need to get the ball back a little bit more, but they've got that speed that can really change things about in any ball game. And any coach will tell you that speed can kill you defensively. And Terry mentioned on the sideline there that he had a man open. That was Jeff Palzer, but he just fell down, and that could have been easily 6 points for the West. So things could get exciting, and we're getting set for a kickoff that for the West.
Keep your eyes peeled, perhaps, for some real fireworks on kickoff plays by the West squad. We'll see what happens right here. Don't think it's going to work this time.
Short, taking about the 30-yard line. Across the 35, trying to pick and choose his way. May have been Sean Ryan.
I think it's number 42, Corey Hillard, over on that right side. Corey was an alternate pick for this game, and good job, Corey. Good job of fielding that ball and bringing it upfield. Good field position for the West team to get started here.
And that's not what Mark Skillstead wanted, because that's going to really open up the offense, you got to believe, for Gilliland and quarterback Jay Bubach. They only had one series, 3 downs and the cloud of dust punt. So they're going to try and get something going here. First down and 10, about the 43 of the West. Man in motion, dive out the middle to Gilliland. He's across the 45 to about the 47. Call it second down and about 7 or 8.
We talked about all the motion that the West team would run. They run it not only to try to confuse the defense. Watch on your screen right here, right there. There's a motion man that comes into the play and leads the play up into the up inside. He becomes part of that isolation play. So not only is it designed, the motion that is, to confuse the defense, but also to add extra blockers to the offensive schemes of the West team. We just saw it on that play right there.
Second down and 6, single setback. That's Flukinger, the fullback. Man in motion, coming to the near side is Gilliland. Little jumping by the East squad, and we're going to have a first flag of the ball game.
You know, you're right. That is the first flag. That's kind of unusual. Usually in an all-star game, you'll see the flag fly a little more. But I think it was number 78, Carly Wells, who just jumped just a little too quick and broke the play. There's Terry Gilliland now giving instructions to one of his messengers.
Now that's one of the areas he was kind of worried about, because he had said just on Friday afternoon in practice that he had, or Thursday afternoon, that he had some trouble trying to get his plays in and out, working with his tight ends, because he sends his plays in with the 3 tight end set, and they hadn't worked on it.
Yeah, and he said it was a real mess.
His assistant coaches were a little concerned about it, but he said not to worry.
Tell you what, great opportunity, second down and about 2 inches here, and it's a great opportunity to go for broke right now, Bill.
Bubach, Gilliland coming. They're going to flood the near side. There's that handoff to Gilliland. He's across the 45, down around the 40, tackled from behind, but inside the 40-yard line.
And once again, he picked up about 8 to 9 yards on that play, maybe even a little more. And as we talked about earlier, there you see number 27, Troy Gilliland. He has good speed, as we talked about earlier, 4.6 40. I think he's going to Kearney State this fall. A new horizon. He's played for his dad all of his football career now. A new horizon for him to step into in the college world. So.
And I think he's going to run track when he gets down to Kearney, so they're really getting quite the athlete. Again, 3 wide outs, and the single setback is Flukinger. First down and 10 from the 38. Gilliland in motion again. Flukinger, the up back, down around the 35-yard line. He's met by the defensive line of the East squad.
Usually in that set, when you see that motion and you see the quick receivers over to the right side, more often than not, you're going to think they're going to throw the football. But as Coach Gilliland said, he said, don't be surprised to see me run the ball, and that's what he's done the 2 times that they've had that single back set. That's fullback set back there in the backfield. They've run the ball to him.
Second down and call it 7 from the East. Oh, just outside the 35-yard line. Jay Bubak. Again, Gilliland in motion to the near side, flooding with 3. Little movement, nothing called. Flukinger trying to get some room around that left side. Broke a tackle. Couldn't get by the defensive backs. Jim Fahrengoff's got a guess on the sidelines.
Once again, Eric Sock in on the play. He made the initial hit. He didn't make the tackle, but he slowed the play down.
Jim Fahrengoff.
Run the option. It was nice to get the ball in the end zone, but things don't look real good right now. They're kind of have a drive going themselves.
Well, your game plan, though, is going pretty much as you wanted it to go, right?
Well, yeah, we've controlled the line of scrimmage pretty well so far, but we'd like to keep them off the board here.
Well, at least you got the lead. That's more than they've got at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Good luck, Mark.
Thanks.
Gilliland out of the eye, across down around the 25-yard line. He may have picked up that first down. And he does, picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Down to just call it inside the 26, first down and 10 for the West. They trail 7-0, 8 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the second period.
Gilliland not only able to turn the ball to the outside, but step his way up to the inside. Good strong runner to the middle as he comes out of the game now. Take a little rest.
Multiple sets is what we're going to see from the West team, and this is just their second series of downs. Out of the eye now. Flukinger, the fullback. Bubak calling the starting count. Palzer is split to the near side. And the dive is to Flukinger. He's met by Lance Rohde in the middle. Just can't quite get by the linebackers of the East squad. Lance Rohde has really been the defensive leader so far.
And see it again right here. See the handoff. Now watch Rohde pop him right there. Lance Rohde, Mark Skilstead, the head coach, said he's got to play well for us to win that ball game, and so far he's played very well. Lance Rohde, a big kid. He's 6'3" and 210 pounds out of Ansley, Nebraska. Made 200 tackles last year. That's a bunch. That's a lot of bruises.
Said he's a hard-hitting player, hard-hitting linebacker.
A lot of bells in your head.
Single setback is Flukinger. Gilliland in motion. On the handoff again, doesn't work this time.
J.J. Rank that time on the tackle. He's playing over on that left side of defensive end, and J.J. may not be very big. He's only 5'9", but he plays like he's about 6'4". He's number 60 for the East at 185 pounds, all-state Class C last year. And I tell you, his head coach says the kid just flat plays ornery, and you just saw it right there.
I think he was just a little ornery in the East team camp as well, on and off the field, from what they told us in the coaches' meetings. Well, he's a good ball player.
They want to have fun, and they did. And they are.
Third down and 8, inside the 25 of the East. Gilliland in motion again. Bubak over center. Give is to Flukinger. He's across the 25 down to about the 21-yard line. That'll bring up a fourth down.
Scott Benda and Lance Rohde that time in on the tackle. They're both playing defense, but they also will play offense. And when they do go in on offense, they comprise what's called the big back attack. And Mark Skilstad's pretty proud of that big back attack, and I hope we get to see it this evening.
It was successful a little bit earlier when they got the first down. They went for it on 4th and 1 and just barely made it. I don't think it surprised the West squad at all, but we've got a timeout on the field. West squad with about a 4th down and 4, but they are inside East territory. So they're not going to want to pass up an opportunity like this. Join former Nebraska volleyball star Angie Milliken and myself this coming Thursday, August 3rd, live at 7 p.m. for the 1989 Nebraska Coaches Association All-Star Volleyball game from Lincoln East High School. The top high school graduated seniors will be competing in this annual event, and it promises to be some of the best volleyball played in the state. So join us this Thursday, live at 7 p.m. for the 1989 Nebraska Coaches Association All-Star Volleyball game here on your Nebraska ETV network.
I tell you what, Bill, I hope that the game this year was as good as the game last year. That was just an outstanding exhibition last year. And if you get one like that, you're going to have a great game to do, partner.
Well, it's All-Star Week, you could call it here on ETV. We got the West Nebraska All-Star game tonight, the All-Star game coming up Thursday night, and of course you're going to be there with the Shrine Bowl, working with Ray Scott on next Saturday, so it's a big week here.
Looking forward to that, and it is a very active week for people like us and also for the crew, our great crew that really does such a great job.
And we're getting ready to go here. 4th down and 5. Terry Gilliland's going to send his players out there. They're going to go for it. 3-man wide. Gilliland, the lone setback. Down the line goes Buback. Pitch out is to Gilliland. He's got no room to go. 4th down, and he's stopped. Lance Rohde once again, and J.J. Rank coming up to make the big play.
Well, it was the option play with Gilliland to the outside design. Here you'll see Buback stepping down the line. Rank causing the pitch. Now Gilliland trying to get to the outside. And I think that's number 42 for the East, and I think that's Bart Eckhout that came up and made the hit. Not surprisingly, Bart Eckhout, 4-5 in the 40, extremely quick. And a great job by Eckhout.
East takes over on downs with a split back veer offense. Ostermeyer in motion to the wide side. Give us to Dodson up the middle, breaking a couple tackles down around the 30-yard line.
Boy, Dodson just barrels up inside there, too, slipping tackles. Kevin Dodson, 5'10", 185 pounds. Picked up 1,200 yards last year, as we talked about earlier. But just a very strong runner up to the inside. He picks up a lot of yardage, all on his own. There you see head coach Terry Gilliland trying to figure out how to stop that, just that simple dive play, but you got to smash some helmets.
Jamie Mitzelfeld is the split to the near side. 2nd down and 5. Give up the middle, goes nowhere.
Ted Garner, the initial hit. He held him up and then got some help from his friends. See it right here. Ted Garner there, right in your screen. Great shot right there. He's going to make, well, he's going to help out. Number 64, actually, is the one that makes the initial hit. That's Destry Wallen. Or Walleen, I should say.
Well, Murray, they must have felt they'd gone to Dodson, and so Murray thought maybe if he went down the line on the option, but it just didn't work that time. Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 6, call it. Motion man is Ostermeyer. Back to pass goes Murray. Garner gives chase. Throws the floater into an open area. Nobody at home. Trying to get Ostermeyer, I think, but you got to be pretty pinpoint to get Ostermeyer. He's a tall 5'7", if I remember correctly.
And he's trying to throw over the outreaching arms of Ted Garner, number 78. He's 6'3". They got those Ted Hendricks arms out there, the penguin arms, and it's tough to get that ball up over those outstretched arms. So here we go. I think the East team in punt formation now.
Shane Height to take the deep snap.
Now we're going to have a problem here.
Player's trying to get off the field, and he does. Flag on the play. The punt's away. Flukinger coming up. He's going to let it bounce, and he picks it up about the 35. Not a lot of room to run. And over to make the play and make sure he doesn't go too far is Sean Lupkeys of Minden.
You mentioned, Bill, there was a flag on the play, and I don't know. I thought that player got off the field in time. Perhaps somebody else lined up improperly. We'll just get the word here or get the indication from the referee.
That's a feeling of helplessness when you know you're that 12th man and you're trying to get off the field like that.
Yeah,
Sean,
you just can't run fast enough in that kind of situation.
Sean Ryan, you probably asked Kansas in that Orange Bowl. Nobody tried to get off on that one, but when they lost it on the extra point. Not that serious, though, here.
It looks like the penalty is going to be declined. The West will take the ball. Ball spotted, I believe. Well, we're going to spot it right there at about the 42-yard line.
4:51 to go. We are in the 2nd quarter of the West Nebraska All-Star football game. The East leads it on a 1-yard touchdown run by Kevin Dodson of North Platte St. Pat's just 4 seconds into that 2nd period. And that's where we stand. The West had only 1 possession in the 1st quarter. And they are now about to take their 3rd possession of the ball game. Got a little ball control the last time they had the ball, but their drive stalled inside the 20. In motion is Mike Jaggers. Give it the deep back in the eyes. Gilliland, he's up around the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. New quarterback in the ball game for the West team offense is Rick Hinn. number 8 from Rushville High School.
Rick Hinn headed to Colorado State this fall. Again, from Rushville, he's moving in somewhat the same steps, if not actually the same steps, as Kelly Stoffer. Kelly Stoffer, of course, the fine quarterback from Rushville, moved on to Colorado State, set all kinds of records there now in pro football.
By way of the West Nebraska All-Star football game, Kelly's got a lot of records in this game. 2nd down and 7, and we got another penalty gonna be called.
I think that time again the defensive line for the East moved once again. There you see the indication by the referee.
Offsides, that's going to help out the West that much more. They had a situation like that in their other drive where they got about a 2nd down and 1 on an East penalty.
And these are the kind of plays, Bill, that play right into the hands of the offensive schemes and patterns of the West squad. Again, 2nd down and about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, and it affords you that opportunity to do some different things, to try maybe that play that you wouldn't otherwise try.
Single setback is Flukinger. Rick Hinn in the calling it count. Jeff Palzer in motion to the far side. And the give is to Flukinger, and he gets nowhere. May have lost a couple of feet. Not going to say yards, but a couple of feet. Good pursuit by Steve Edgren. He's knocked down right around the 50-yard line. That'll make a 3rd down and 1. That's a kind of a surprising call.
Yeah, it really is. I'm real surprised to see that. Again, you got a 2nd down and about a yard, and you know, that's maybe the time to air it out or try something real unique. And believe me, the West squad has offensive plays in its repertoire that are unique. So I think we've got a timeout now by the West, Bill.
West takes timeout, 3rd down and 1. They want to talk about it. Jim Flukinger is with Kevin Dodson.
Okay, Kevin, that was a great touchdown a while ago. You had to fight all the way for it.
I'll tell you what, it's my lineman Miller, I swear, the whole time. And Virgil Bonzoff, the one who got us down there. He did a heck of a job.
Okay, you blasted your way through. I bet the folks back in North Platte would like to see you be the first guy to ever score 2 touchdowns in this All-Star game.
That's fine with me if it happens.
Good luck, Kevin.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bill.
Well, Kevin mentioned the job that Virgil Bonzoff did on that drive. And in that first quarter, Virgil 6 carries, 44 yards. So Kevin Dodson gets the glory, but the workhorse may have been Virgil Bonzoff with picking up some key yards.
And also the individuals up front that he referred to in the offensive line. Boy, I tell you what, if it doesn't happen there, it isn't going to happen in the backfield. So those guys up front, Bill, you've got the offensive line for that squad, and they're the ones that really deserve the credit up front.
That's where you establish the run, and that's what Skillstead has done. The East team in the eye, 3rd down and just outside a yard to go. Man in motion. May have turned upfield too quickly to give us to Nate Green. He has the 1st down yardage. But Jason Triddle was the man in motion. He was trying to get that lead block that Adrian talked about earlier, but he may have started upfield too quickly. And that's the call, man in motion, that's going to go against the West. And we'll have about a 3rd down and 7 coming up. So something to think about again for the West team.
Well, as we talked about earlier on in this telecast, it's difficult in an all-star game, especially when you only have 8 days to practice, to really get timing down. And I am really surprised that they're able to do as well as they have. That's really the first miscue as far as offensive timing goes on a play like that. I mean, those kids are really coming full bore, you know, full speed up the line, and then they turn and go. And that play's worked successfully the first 2 or 3 times they've run it. That one there just a little bit quick.
3rd down and 7. 3:13 to go. First half action, the West Nebraska All-Star football game. Rick Hinn, the quarterback. Pursuit by Eric Sock. Hinn can't get away. Throws it up for grabs, and that's trouble. Almost picked off by 42. Bart Eckhout. Dangerous play by Rick Hinn.
Well, we've talked about Eric Sock quite a bit this evening. Once again, we'll mention his name, putting great pressure on the quarterback that time. Almost gave rise to an interception by that young man right there, number 42, and that's Eckhout. And he just could not get the handle on the football. See it right here. There's Sock right there, and he's right in his face. And I can't believe that Hinn was able to get it off, but you know, that's one of those things that you know, you look back and you say, well, the quarterback should have kept it. Yeah, he should have, but under the heat of battle, that's just a decision that you see that open receiver and you go for it. But there's Eckhout, and he's kind of kicking himself for not hanging on to the ball.
4th down and 7. The West is going to be forced to punt. Bonjoff and Ostermeyer back deep to receive. Almost blocked, and it is by the East squad, and recovered inside the 30 at the 28. First down for the East in good field position.
And again, it's Eric Sock on the football. I'm not sure if he's the one who got a piece of it or not.
Scott Benda of Ord got right through the middle. He put a lot of heat on the punter.
See it right here. He's taking his time back there. And the ball's a little bit low. He dropped it too low. Sock is right there.
Looks like Scott Benda is the one that got the handle on it.
Sock was right there, and also, who was that, 31? Yeah, Benda, you're right.
Under the nose guard, and that was one of the players that they worried about.
Very much concerned about that.
So the East is in business. 2:57 to go in the second quarter. Ball marked just inside the 30-yard line. Kevin Dimmitt, the new quarterback, calling the count. He gives on the dive to Bonjoff, and he'll gain a couple of yards, and that'll make it second down to 8. Down to Jim on the field.
Bill, that was just a tremendous block.
Thanks. We had a wall set up left. We're usually supposed to hang and set up the wall, but I just decided to go for the block.
You guys are fired up over here now.
Oh, yeah, we're ready to go. That's a big momentum swinger.
Great. Good luck to you, Eric.
Thanks a lot.
Back to the booth.
Well, the East leads 7-0, and they are really threatening here late in the first half. Clock is running, 2:17, 2:16 to go. Kevin Dimmitt, the quarterback for the East squad. In motion is Ostermeyer to the near side. Take the handoff. Dimmitt looking for an open man. He can't find anybody. I think that pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Fake on the crossbuck that time, Bill, and the ball either tipped or he just simply lost control of it when he released it. Some pretty good pressure that time from the outside as we look at Kevin Dimmitt.
Penalty flag on the play. And the official is talking it over, and we're going to have a motion penalty, procedure penalty against the East that's declined. That'll make it third down and 8 to go. Ball marked at about the 28-yard line. East team huddled back quite a ways away from the ball. I think they were anticipating the penalty yardage being marked off. They were huddled up at about the 45 or 50, and the ball's 20 yards away. So I think they might have had a delay problem.
Well, they wanted to get a good run at it, Bill. We talked about momentum, and Sock is right. You talk about swings in action or swings in momentum in games, all kinds of games. And that's the kind of play that can really get a team fired up. A block punt. Wayne Malin, the University of Nebraska years ago, played middle guard, and he had blocked. He was real good at blocking the punts, and he was able to pump up that defense, and in fact the offense. They get pumped up by those kind of plays also. Unfortunately, Wayne, I played with Wayne in the 60s, and what a great football player, All-American middle guard. And unfortunately, an untimely death a few years ago, flying an airplane, what he loved to do. So he was a heck of a guy.
Good ball player, too.
You bet.
We've got a lot of good ball players on the field here with us today. A lot of these players going on to play college football. You're not going to see some big names at the bigger schools, but these kids are really make a contribution to the state college scene. A lot of state colleges like Chadron State, Kearney State, Wesleyan are really going to be the benefactors of some talented football players that may have been overlooked by the bigger schools, but nevertheless, these kids are going to get a chance to continue their careers.
Well, Bill, we all know, not everybody is going to play for Nebraska or Notre Dame or Oklahoma, and everybody's got different programs, and these kids can fulfill their need and also that program's need.
Third down and 8. In the veer, Dimmitt gives off to Banjoff. No, he doesn't. Faked. And he's not going to have time to get it off. And he's sacked back by Jaggers. And Tim Phillipson.
Yeah, Mike Jaggers and Phillipson on the pressure.
Penalty flag on the play.
Actually, Phillipson, I believe, the first one. We'll see it right here again. I think Phillipson to come in. No, actually, Jaggers to first come in and put the pressure on. And I tell you what, there was a problem right there with the block. That was a clip. You saw it right in front of you. A clip on that play, on the pass protection.
Jeremy Miller guilty of the clip. Kevin Dimmitt doing a good job of faking on the play. Got to give him credit where credit's due. East will be back to punt. We're inside 2 minutes. So So the West now looking for some good field position. The ball bounces at the 5, and it might roll into the end zone, and it does. Ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line, and that's where the West will take over.
Well, West team that time defensively able to hold up well and cause the East to punt. They were in good field position, just ready maybe to take the ball in and score. But the West defense able to hold up and cause the punt. Now, again, as Bill just mentioned, with 1:45, they've got the length of the field to drive right now. They're the ball spotted at the West 20.
The West really got to be breathing a sigh of relief. They got away with the block punt that was by Sock and Benda. And the East really had a chance to threaten, but a couple of costly mistakes, and the East is going to find themselves with a chance, maybe with their speed, with their explosive offense that Gilliland says he hopes that they have. Maybe they could tie this up before the half. We'll find out. We've got 1:45 to go. Chad Murray, the quarterback, looking to pass, knocked down by Benda, and almost picked off by Benda.
Talked about Benda earlier on and what a good defensive football player is. Watch him come up the middle right here. And that's, I believe, Rick Hinn on the throw. And Benda got that left hand on the football, knocked it down. That receiver open on the short out pass. You see a short drop like that, usually going to be a short out route. And Benda able to come up from that backer spot and knock it down.
You're right. Rick Hinn calling the signals for the West squad. I'd like to blame that maybe on that jersey mix-up that we'll talk about a little bit later.
It's a case of where East is West and West is East,
right,
folks, and when we will explain that a little bit later on.
Holding penalty called against the West squad, moving the ball back to the 10-yard line. It'll be first down again, but a lot of yardage to go to get there. Wide to the near side comes Palzer, Nate Green, and Gary Flukinger in the eye. Motion man is Vigil. Hinn dropping back to pass. He's pressured by Sock. Lets one fly. Palzer's out there, and so are two defenders, and it's intercepted. Jason Langford out there on the coverage.
Jason Langford getting a good drop. Jason out of North Platte St. Pat's. He'll be headed to Chadron State this fall. We're going to see it again. It is the old airmail special right here. And there's Sock once again putting pressure on. He really had a lot to do with this pass interception right there. And that's again Langford, 5'10", 160 pounds, playing a mean defensive back this evening.
Palzer had a step, but the ball floated on Hinn a little bit, and that enabled Langford to get back. First down and 10. We're just outside a minute to go. Minute 8 for the East squad. They'll try and get something going. Give us to Banjoff. He's across the 40 to about the 35, 36-yard line. Tackle made by Kerry Lowe from his monster back position. 51 seconds now to play. The East, I believe, still has a couple of timeouts to work with. Ball sitting outside the 36-yard line. Second down and 5. Dodson and Banjoff in the veer. Ostermeyer in motion. Dimmitt rolls left. He's looking for Mitzelfeld. His pass goes out of bounds over his head.
Good coverage that time over there by number 40, Sean Ryan. He was poised to make a break on the ball, but he saw that the ball was overthrown, so he was trying to lay back and maybe get a hand on it, Bill. He was taking a little bit deeper drop, but Sean Ryan, number 40, 6 foot, 170 pounds, out of Henry, Nebraska, played at Morrill High.
Third down and 5 now. 26 seconds remaining in the first half. East leads by 7. They're going to try and get something on the board before the half runs out. Out of the shotgun now with Dimmitt. 4 receivers in the set. He's got a man open as Banjoff, and the ball goes right through his hands. Couldn't come up with it. That would have put the East down in field goal range. They've got a pretty good kicker on their sideline.
See Dimmitt here out of the shotgun, as you mentioned. He steps up. Pretty good toss, maybe a little bit high, but a catchable ball, and Banjoff just not able to get the handle. Unfortunate turn for the East team because they're down there in scoring position. If nothing else, a three-pointer. What do we got, Bill? About 21 seconds left here in the first half.
Fourth down and 5, and they're going to line up in the shotgun again. Four receivers, Mitzelfeld and Ostermeyer on the near side. Dropping back is Dimmitt. He lets fly with one, looking for Mitzelfeld. And just too much on the throw, and it goes over his head. And the West will take over on downs, trailing by 7 with 15 seconds to go in the half.
You saw number 81, Jamie Mitzelfeld, on that fly pattern. The ball, of course, overthrown.
He may have been crossed up. They had Ostermeyer also in the area, and he may have seen the ball.
They definitely had. They had both receivers in that same area, and unless it's, well, sometimes you know, that Hail Mary play, Bill, you'll go for that sort of thing. You get people down in that cluster and just hope that somebody comes up with a football.
15 seconds to go. First down and 10 West. Call it the 36-yard line. Rick Hinn calls the starting count. Vigil in motion. Hinn's going to try and put it up again, looking for Palzer. And he's intercepted again, this time by Bart Eckhout. Across the 45 to the 43-yard line. Rick Hinn with 2 interceptions now, and Bart Eckhout coming up with it.
I'll tell you what, Eckhout's saying to himself, you throw it in my area one more time, I'm going to get it. And he did that time. He couldn't quite hold the handle last time. We'll see it again right here. Eckhout pulls up, screens the receiver out. That's Palzer, and then he's able to find the handle this time and then make a pretty good return. He's run down from behind right there. That's number 80 for the West, Nick Vigil. He ran him down. So once again, the East, with 5 seconds left in this first half, has a shot.
And a timeout on the field called by the East. So they're not done doing business here in the first half. They're going to try and get something on the board. So now you might want to look for that Hail Mary you just alluded to.
Get out the rosaries, folks. Well, the East is right there on your screen, and they're cooking up a play right now. Mark Skillstad in the middle of that blue mass of humanity.
He told us yesterday that he was, they were going to play the hard-nosed run football, and they had little time to put in any trick plays. I don't believe him, but that's a coach talking.
What they're doing right now is they're drawing one in the grass, just like we used to do when we were kids. That's the trick play. So about ready to saddle this thing up and run one out here.
They've got a lot of green to cover before they get to the end zone, and they're almost going to have to go the length. I don't think they'll have time to set up for a field goal, but in the shotgun is Kevin Dimmitt. We saw he had an arm on his last attempt. It fell short. There's the snap. Little pressure, steps up in the pocket. Dimmitt, let's go with one. And it's going to be intercepted and dropped by Gilliland, but that's going to do it for the half. They gave it a shot. Came up a little bit short, but they're on the long end right now of the scoreboard. The East leads 7-0, and it's been a pretty good.
I guess the score is probably the most distinctive under the stats right there, Bill. 7-0, but that rushing yardage tells the tale thus far, and it's what Mark Gilstead told us that he intended to do, and that is run the ball, run power football, and that's what's happened. Passing yardage really surprises me. The West -5 because Terry Gilliland really wanted to air it out, and there you see the East scoring drive, a 58-yard drive in 10 plays. And the only scoring in the first half for a 7-0 lead.
Jim Ferenkopf is with Coach Terry Gilliland.
Terry, how do you feel at this point?
Oh, I feel pretty good. We know right now we can play with these people. It's been a game of field position the whole first half. We've had the ball almost every time, I think, inside our 50. And we've given up 7 points. We've seen some things that we can do offensively. If we can pass block, we'll be okay. You know, we feel pretty good about it.
What'd you tell them to do different here in the second half?
Not really anything. Just it's a game of field position. If we get field position like they did, the second half would be okay. Just try to get some confidence in them that we could play with them out here.
Good luck, Terry.
Okay, thanks.
Bill Dolman and Adrian Fiala with you live from Bearcat Stadium in Scottsbluff. We are getting set for second half action, the 1989 West Nebraska All-Star football game. East leads West 7-0.
And as we talked about earlier in this telecast, the West on the kickoff has some surprises. It's just a matter of whether or not we're going to see those surprises and whether or not Terry Gilliland, who wanted to really open it up and let her rip as we discussed, is going to do it right here. So we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled.
Corey Sheen will do the kicking for the East. Palzer, Flukinger are back deep for the West. Ball taken about the 10-yard line. Across the 30, down to up the 36. May have been Tim Phillipson. The West will set up shop, first down and 10. Nate Green, 25, with the return.
Sean Johnson crawled out from under that pile, too. Suspect he had a little bit to do with that tackle. So we look at that East defense ready to face a West offense. Eric Sock down there at the bottom of your screen, number 8, a big factor in that first half defensively for the East.
Jay Bubak, the quarterback for the West squad. In the eye, Flukinger and Gilliland. In motion is Triddle. The give is to Gilliland across the 38, just short of the 40, and he's swarmed over by the East defense.
You mentioned Jay Bubak. Terry Gilliland feels that he's probably one of the best quarterbacks that he's seen, and he felt that he's a big key as we look at Troy Gilliland making his way back to that West huddle. But Bubak very adept in handling the ball, good agility, able to read well, throws the ball real well.
He said he was one of the best quarterbacks in the area that he'd seen all year, and now he's got the benefit of having him on his own sideline and now calling his own signals.
52% completion pass rate for Bubak last year.
Second down and 8. Motion to the near side. The give is to Flukinger. He stopped short of the 40. Benda in on the stop.
Again, Scott Benda playing that nose guard position. Just an excellent football player at that position. Relies on that quickness to make the plays, and you'll see it from the end zone camera here. Now watch Benda right in the middle, and he just simply beats the offensive center to the play, and that's one thing that Gilliland was talking about earlier. There you see him. Really quick.
You mentioned on the kickoff Sean Johnson. He was the C2 Defensive Player of the Year at nose guard, and he's on the east sidelines, but frankly, Scott Benda beat him out for the first team nose guard. Quick pass into the flat, picked up by Nate Green. Little gain, though. That's Kevin Dimmitt.
Unfortunately, Nate Green lost his footing out there before the ball, when the ball was on the way. He had to recover. Really not on balance and able to make a good, clean play out of it. And that's going to bring up the punting unit.
Jason Langford coming up from the cornerback position. Fourth down and call it 7. 9:39 to go. We're just starting action in the third period. The East leads the West 7-0. Back deep for the East squad around the 22-yard line is Virgil Bonjoff and Jay Ostermeyer. East has already blocked one. He gets this one away. Short kick. That's one where the receiving team just wants to get it away and just let it bounce, and we'll take the ball where we can get it. They're going to have good field position.
Well, that time Wine didn't really get all of the football. The ball coming off the side of his foot. And that kick there, Bill, of about 20 yards, maybe 22 yards.
East will set up shop at the 41. First down and 10. Chad Murray, the quarterback.
Well, they're running that stacked defense now. Now they moved out of it right there.
Betzelfeld in motion. The give is to Craig Stump. He's across the 45 to about the 47. Tackled by Mike Jaggers for the West team.
Craig Stump headed to Benedictine College this fall out of Broken Bow. Honorable mention All-State.
Second down and a long 5. Call it for the East squad. Still coming out, running the ball, doing what they did best in the first half, not wanting to change too much in their game plan. They lead by 7. Ostermeyer in motion to the near side. Murray following Bonjoff. May have kept it himself, ran into the line. It's going to be a short gain, if any.
Bit of a miscue that time, I would say, there, Bill, by Murray and Bonjoff. A little mishandling on the play.
Skillstad said that one of the keys for his team tonight was going to be to get around the defensive ends of the West team, and he's got most of his yards going up the middle. So,
well, in that time there, that defensive end really played it well. He was able to stack up the middle, and that really caused the problem on the handoff.
Give up the middle to Benda, and the big back attack. He's bowling his way across the 45 down to the 43-yard line of the West team.
He just lowers the horns and bowls his way up, and here we see it right here. Number 31, good. Well, number 71 was pulling to make the trap block. Didn't quite get that job done. That's Mark Mills, and Benda just tucked it up inside and kept bowling his way. I tell you what, the kid just goes and goes and goes. Power piston legs.
Headed to Chadron State next season to play football. First down and 10 inside West territory. Ball marked at the 42. Ostermeyer in motion. Murray calls the count. Down the line he goes. He's got Bonjoff on the option. Keeps it himself across the 40.
Good job that time by number 81 to come up and make the tackle. That's John Stair. See it right here on the option play. Now watch Stair come in from the right side here. That's just a good play. That's a good tackle. A shoot top tackle. The only opportunity he had to make that play, and he made it. John Stair going to Western Nebraska Community College this fall. He's going to study music, and he's got a music scholarship, Bill. So again, shows you the diversification that these kids have.
Illegal procedure penalty is called against the West. We'll check that against the East. That'll make it first down and 15. Ball spotted about the 47-yard line. 48-yard line, still in West territory. 7:33 to go, third quarter. Bonjoff and Stump, the veerbacks. Mitzelfeld in motion. They give us to Stump. He's across the 45 and down to the 43. Pick up a 5.
Again, good trap block up front on that trap play. Stump able to pick up excellent yardage up the middle.
Tim Phillipson with the tackle for the West team. Second down and 11, just short of the sticks. And you got to figure that this is a passing down, but neither team has had much success throwing the football, so maybe the East will just stick with the grind it out and see what we can get. Stump in motion. Pitch back to Bonjoff. He's got a blocker out front, but that speed of the West team knocks him down. And another penalty flag down. Knocked him short of the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 3, but we'll check the flag.
I think that was Kerry Lowe that came up from his monster position to make the tackle. Just knifing up there. You'll see it right here. There's the pitch for Murray. Now watch number 30 come into your screen. Coming in behind the blocker. Actually in front of number 76. Making the block for the East, Jeremy Miller. And a good open field tackle by Kerry Lowe. Kerry from Grant, Nebraska. Class C2 All-State last year, and the leading tackler for his club last year, averaging 9 tackles a game. And I guess you can see why, Bill.
Penalty again going to go against the West squad, so they've been moving backwards here steadily since they've taken possession over.
It's kind of interesting that we've seen the East obtain good field possession to start drives, but the West team defense, Bill, has just really come up and answered. I guess the key there is now the West team offense needs to do its part in the ballgame.
Second down and 21. Ball back in East territory. Murray with the fake to Stump. Pitch to Bonjoff. Across the 50. Didn't quite have the blocking he needed. John Tedesco on the open field tackle.
I want to tell you what, Tedesco did a great job because he was really blocked out there in the open field. I don't know if we'll be able to get a good shot of it or not. There's a good pressure up inside there by Kerry Lowe. Now Bonjoff off to the races, and then you see Tedesco fighting off the block right there, and then coming in and make the tackle. That's good play. I want to tell you, that is excellent play by John Tedesco.
And we talked about his running back stats at St. Pat's, but he's doing a good job defensively. He's got a pass interception in the first quarter. Ostermeyer in motion. Murray dropping back to pass on third down. Long pass down to Ostermeyer, but over his head. Had him open, but we've got a penalty flag on the play.
It happened over in that left flat, the short flat. One of the West players signaling the penalty is on the East. Might be offensive interference by the East player.
Legal receiver downfield, I think, is going to be the call. We got 5:49 to go. We are in the third quarter. The East leads the West 7-0. And the West defense has been doing a pretty good job using that speed to cover the backs coming out of the backfield for the West, of the East. But the East really doing a number on themselves in terms of penalty. This one's going to be declined. That'll set up fourth down.
There's Coach Gilliland that we've talked about all this evening. Coach Bishop right next to him.
Coach Bishop, I believe, handled the defense for that West squad, and we've seen a couple of receivers open downfield for the East, and I think Coach Gilliland saying, let's close those up a little bit.
Well,
they're bound to complete one.
Ostermeyer got in the seam, and it's pretty tough at times to cover all the seam.
The East team on the punt. Fair catch called for by Flukinger at about the 13-yard line, and that'll bring up first and 10 for the West. 5:44 to go. Our score 7-0. East leads.
Ostermeyer is that young man we talked about earlier that really has great moves, great speed, and quickness, and he was able to find that seam in that defense And a lot of times you have some miscommunication in games like these. These kids only work together, like we said earlier, Bill, about 8 days of practice, 6 days and 2-a-days. And, you know, at times it breaks down. And Ostermeyer, a smart ball player, able to find the seam. He was open and the ball overthrown.
Well, Coach Gilliland mentioned this game has been a game of field position, and his team hasn't had very much, and they don't have much to start with here. First down and 10 at the 13. Buback up the middle to Flukinger, the fullback, the workhorse, gets across the 20 to about the 22, and just short of the first down, make it about second down and 1, second down and 2. Shane Height coming up from the defensive back position to make the tackle.
There again in that what looked to be the passing formation, and he went ahead and ran the ball right up the middle and picked up good yardage.
Jim Fahrenkoff's with on the west sideline.
Well, Coach, what are you feeling? What are you feeling at this point?
Well, going into the ball game, we thought that they might just overpower us and run the ball up the middle, but really our defense is doing a good job. We had a couple of mistakes by our defensive ends, but our defense is hanging right in there. Our problem offensively is we're too inconsistent, and you know, we make a couple good plays and then we get a bad one and we can't get a first down. So right now, defensively, I think the kids are giving us a good effort.
Right, and in fact, so far your best offense has been your defense.
That's right. You know, we've got a lot of motion. I think we had them a little confused at first with our motion on offense, but I think they're just, you know, kind of, what do I want to say, negating our motion now, and we need to come up with a play where we use our motion, man, I think.
Well, let's hope you get it turned around, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Marlon Twiliger, the head coach at Grant Perkins County High School. He knows a thing or two about winning. Took his team to the 1988 state C2 championship. And one of the assistant coaches on the west sideline.
Former teammate of mine in Nebraska also in the late 60s. Very successful as a coach out here in western Nebraska.
Flukinger picked up a first down on the dive. First and 10 now about the 25-yard line. Again, a dive to Flukinger. Knocked down around the 15 by Shane Height. He's really been the workhorse for the West team so far. We were looking for a little explosive offense.
See it right here. Flukinger taking it up the inside. Good out block. Took Sock right out of the play. And then that's number 78 for the East team. I think Carly Wells making a hit and bringing Flukinger down. But Sock, again, a factor all evening. But on that play, he was neutralized by a great load block to the outside.
Second down and 7. The West trying to get a drive sustained. 3:42 to go in the period. In motion is Vigil. Hand off up the middle. Terry Lowe bullying his way across the 35 to about the 37. Should be just short of the first down. Call it third down and 1.
There you see the messenger system we talked about earlier. Terry Gilstad a little bit concerned about that messenger system, and they put some extra time in taking the plays in and into the quarterback because they've got a rather complicated offensive scheme, and it gets to be well, it gets to be time consuming to get the play off.
Third down and 1. Big play for the West. They need a first down here. Nate Green might not get it. Pushing his way into that big defensive line of the East squad. And we'll have to check where they spot the ball, and they do give him a first down. That was a big play for the East, or for the West.
Good shot from the end zone here, and you'll see Nate. Good piece of running there by Nate, and that was, I think, Lance Rohde coming up from his linebacker spot to make the hit. But Green able to spin and pick up the extra yardage to get that first down. And I tell you what, I first thought, like you called it, Bill, that it was going to be short. But Green did a good job to pick up the needed yardage to get that first down.
Kept his legs driving in traffic. First down and 10, little breathing room for the West team. Buback calls the count. Pitch out. Nate Green, one-on-one. Can he get by him? No, he can't. It's knocked down about the 42.
Nate Green right there talking to himself because he thought he might have had some room to go.
Bart Eckhout.
Watch the defender, the cornerback, slip the block to the up top of your. Well, he slipped that block. Actually, the block was missed, but that's Bart Eckhout. He makes the hit. Got himself a fine open field tackle and also a pass interception and broke one up this evening. He's doing a great job on defense at that right corner.
Second down and 7. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Vigil in motion to the far side. Give up the middle again. And the dive will pick up a couple of yards for the West team.
Watching Lance Rohde that time, he came up, scraped to the inside, and filled to help that nose guard.
carry
make
low
that
on
play.
the dive. And into the game comes Scott Benda. Out goes Sean Johnson. So Skillstat looking to shore up that defensive line a little bit. Scott Benda's been in the backfield quite a bit.
He needs a breaker. Get him a little country club, a little salt water, some ice, maybe a piece of orange.
Third
on the
down
back
and 3.
ready to go, Bill.
I think maybe we could use that. Third down and 3. Ball just touching the 45-yard line of the West. Green goes in motion out of the backfield. The give is to Flukinger on the draw. Penalty flag call. He goes to the outside, trying to get around, trying to pick up a block, but he's going to be across the 50 and picks up the first down.
Well, they ran that motion, of course, to the outside again. They had 3 quick receivers over there, the trips formation, as they call it. Now we're going to see a procedure penalty call in the West. You'll see it right here. And again, they just run Flukinger right into the middle. But again, this penalty is going to nullify this good gain by Flukinger.
Nice piece of running, picking and choosing the hole that he needed to take. Got to the outside, couldn't quite get the block, but it's all for naught on the procedure. That'll make it third down and 8. We're under a minute, 58 seconds to go, third quarter.
One of the reasons, of course, that Flukinger has been real successful this evening is he does have good speed. We're looking at speed in the 4.4 to 4.5 category. He averaged 6.6 yards a carry last year. So he knows what to do when he gets his hands on the football.
Another big play coming up for the West squad. They've got a third down and 8 call in the waning moments of this third quarter. Coming in with the play is Kent Wine. Bubak coming over to the sideline. Rick Hinn will have to be the substitute quarterback. Bubak can't get the signals down. And the clock running, 42 seconds to go.
I'll tell you, some of the plays he was talking about yesterday, I can see why.
Green in motion, Vigil in motion. Roll out right. Flags all over the place. And Hinn throws into a crowd and is short.
I thought we were seeing Canadian football for a second there. Everybody was in motion that time. You had the split end on the right side come back in motion. You had the eye back go in motion to the right. And I thought maybe we were going to see Turner Gill or somebody step out to throw the pass for Montreal. But that was, pardon me for the laugh, but it was pretty humorous, I'd say.
Well, I think that was what you might call all-star-itis, one of those things that teams tend to come up with in all-star games. Just a little miscommunication.
That's probably called a scissors motion, and it's kind of interesting that they switched players because obviously couldn't get things straightened out, and there were some cross signals, let's just put it that way.
And you've got a picture of Terry Gilliland, and you know he was right. He knew exactly what he had called.
You betcha. Now Terry's going to talk to the referee and explain it all to him. Terry's going, hey, we didn't mean to do that. The old summit conference between the referee and the coach.
Who do you think will win?
You want to bet? Speaking of bets, we probably could go double or nothing. There have been a lot of bets double or nothing this week. Now Terry's going to explain it to one of his assistant coaches. He is a fire plug, or not a fire plug, but he's a fiery coach. He really gets into his work. He's also just an excellent human being, and he has the player's interest at heart. And now the referee is going to explain it one more time.
Go, you guys, come on. Let's go.
Fourth down and 8. Fourth down and 8. Let's just see what Coach Gilliland was talking about. Jim?
Terry, what were you talking about out there?
Well, they're calling for unbalanced formation, and we didn't do it that time. We put our flanker up on the line of scrimmage and run our split end in motion, and they think that's unbalanced, but that's not the real purpose of the rule. The purpose of the rule is so you don't have a guard, tackle, in right next to each other. We got 3 guys on this side and another guy, yes, but he's way out as a wide man. And the purpose of the rule is so you don't have 4 guys side by side for blocking. That this is, our thing's completely different, but we did that the first half, and he thought we did the same thing when we ran that penalty, but we weren't in that formation. He just thought we were.
Okay, Terry. Thank you a lot, Terry. Back to you, Bill.
He was right.
He was right. I'll tell you, Tim Phillipson on the punt, just a great hit. He was keeping his powder dry that first half, and he was able to explode right through the ball or the receiver that time.
Well, that's the end of third quarter action here at the 1989 West Nebraska All-Star Football game. Our score, the East 7, the West nothing. We'll return with more of the 1989 All-Star Classic after this on the Nebraska ETV network.
Next on Nova. Once we thought the universe ticked off its motions with stately regularity. However, much of the universe is like this. Up until recently, science had no explanation for these phenomena.
One could take the point of view that you don't understand anything about the world until you understand turbulence.
The world around us is being redefined by the strange new science of chaos. That's next time on Nova.
See you Tuesday night at 7, 8 Mountain Time.
Join Backyard Farmer live from the Sounders County Fair in Wahoo next Tuesday evening. We'll be answering your lawn and garden questions, and we'll have a stir-fry recipe for your fresh garden produce. And we'll update you on the new USDA canning guidelines. So tune in Tuesday night at 8, 7 Mountain Time, live from the Sounders County Fair.
This is your Nebraska ETV network, originating from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Bill Dolman and Adrian Fiala with you live at Bearcat Stadium in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. The East leads the West in this All-Star Football Classic 7-0. It's been a game played between the 20-yard lines. The lone score, a 1-yard run by Kevin Dodson at the opening play of the second quarter. We are underway with action here in the fourth. First down and 10 for the East to give us to Virgil Banjoff, and he'll pick up 4 down to the 35-yard line. Virgil Banjoff did a great job of getting the East down into scoring territory in that first quarter. He picked up 44 yards on 6 carries, and then Kevin Dodson picked up the touchdown there in the veer right now behind Chad Murray. And they give us to Dodson, picking and choosing his way across the 40 up to the 45-yard line.
Well, they run that cross-buck style play that time. And they're just picking up that good yardage right over that center to the right side. You see it here from the end zone again. See Dotson just stepping up to the middle. Good hole up inside there. Number 61, Tom Bruce. He had a little bit to do with the reason that hole was there.
Corey Hiller and Mike Coombs, the linebackers, making the stop. First down and 10, 11 minutes to go. Fourth quarter action. Mitzelfeld in motion. They give us to Dodson again. He'll pick up 2 or 3 yards across the 45 to the 48. Mike Jaggers, the left defensive end. And he's been in a lot. He's been kind of busy for that West defense so far today. Lest we forget this, with all the football action going on, we hope you're enjoying all the coverage that we've brought you here on Nebraska ETV this afternoon. In 5 games, the West came out on top in the All-Star volleyball game, the 6th game that they've played. So exciting matchup down at the gym this afternoon. And we've got a pretty good ball game here at Bearcat Stadium. Chad Murray getting flushed out of the pocket. He's got a man open. That's Ostermeyer down the sidelines. And he steps out of bounds about the 20.
Ostermeyer had a step on John Tedesco, but there was good pressure in the backfield on the quarterback that time. We'll see it again right here. We'll see Murray on the drop. Now there's some pressure to the outside. He's going to step up, let her go. Ostermeyer had a step on Tedesco. There you see it right there. Tedesco almost caught up. Kind of slipped right there at the last second. Ostermeyer doing a good job just to keep his balance to stay in bounds. And that's about, what, Bill? About a 35-yard pickup.
First one was a big one for the East. First down and 10, and they're threatening again. Murray gives off to Banjoff. Nice move down to the 15 to the 13-yard line.
It's kind of ironic that the East really is the first one to strike blood on a long pass play. We thought we'd see that from the West, so we'll see it again right here. You see Banjoff just moving up again to the outside. A good piece, good cut right there. Who was that, number 30? Kerry Lowe that made the hit?
The tackle.
That kid's been all over tonight, too.
Offensively and defensively. They told us he was a good ball player, and he's proving it tonight. 9:50 to go. Fourth quarter action. East leads by 7, and they've on the move here. Lance Rohde, the big back attack across the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I love it. Big back attack. I wonder if they get a burger and fries after the game.
Lance Rohde's done a great job at linebacker for that East team, and now getting some good yardage down low. There's a down deep.
Excuse me, Bill. There's a kid, Lance Rohde, 6'3", 210, going to Kearney State, and I just have an inkling he's going to be an outstanding player at Kearney State.
Veer formation. Meir gives off to Dodson. And he's met in the back, or the defensive backfield. Looked like Nate Green.
Yeah, he stood him right up. Those ball carriers hung up like that. That safety, those people in the backfield, of course, have a license to stand people straight up, and that's exactly what happened there. Nate Green taking aim right at the letters. And sometimes the ball carriers will think twice about it next time they come in.
Second down and goal to goal. The East on the move. Murray with the veer behind him. Down the line he goes. He might take it himself, and he does. Touchdown, Chad Murray.
Well, we've heard what a great athlete Chad Murray is, and he showed it right there. He's able just to take it up inside. We'll see it right here. He's going to move down the line. Hardly any read to take here. He's so quick and good feet. And then he just threads his way right through for 6. Good effort by Chad Murray out of Ord, Nebraska.
Corey Sheen of Minden on for the PAT, and his kick is up. And it is good. And the big play comes back, but this time it's for the East, not the West, as many people had expected. And the East uses it to their advantage. They take a 14-0 lead here early in the fourth quarter. 8:48 to go.
Well, once again, we looked for that big play out of the West, and it came from the East. And remember, East is West and West is East this evening. So 8:48.
Jim Fahrenkoff with Chad Murray. Jim?
Chad, you got to be feeling real good about right now.
Oh, that was great. We needed a play to get us fired up and get going. That pass, that just sparks the team. We sparked and just shot that baby right in the end zone.
You guys have stuck pretty much to your game plan, and things are just working out great for you.
We've been giving that veer all night long, so I thought down there our coaches told us all week, to give when you're inside 10. We've been giving all night long, so I thought I'd keep it. It was wide open. Worked great.
Congratulations. Let's hope you're the first guy to get 2 of these, huh?
All right. Thanks a lot.
Short kick played on the kickoff. Kerry Lowell pick it up at the 27, across the 30 to the 35, trying to get some room. Doesn't have a lot of help, and Lance Rohde, the defensive linebacker, makes the tackle, comes up on the kickoff and makes the stop. 8:43, not a lot of time, but the West has got to get something going.
You're right, Bill. If they're going to stay in the ball game, now is the time to get going with it. The scoring drive, 62 yards in 9 plays to run the score to 14-0 in favor of the East, and the West has to get it rolling right here. They don't have much time. Usually you figure, a 10-point lead, 5 minutes, you're in trouble. It's a 14-point lead with less than counting down at 8:28.
Rick Hinn, the quarterback, pitching back to Gilliland. He's across the 40, over to the 45. Big stick by Lance Rohde. The kid can hit.
Great hit. Just a great hit. You talk about keeping your powder dry. We'll see it right here. Watch number 41 right there in the middle of your screen. He's going to come around. The cut made right up front, and then he squares up the ball carrier. And I tell you, when you drive that ball carrier back a step or two, you made a great hit. And that's what Lance Rohde did.
Over 2,000 fans enjoying all the action at Bearcat Stadium.
I think those are the cheerleaders from Gehring, I believe.
Lest we forget the job the folks in Gehring have done in this All-Star game as well. Fumble on the play. Of course, there's going to be a fight for it. You never know who's going to end up with it on the bottom of the pile. The West says they have it. The East says they have it.
Well, that's J.J. Rank right in the middle. The ornery player that we talked about earlier, and he was ornery enough to fight his way to that football underneath, and that'll present the East another good field position to start a drive and a great opportunity to run a score.
It really looked like the West was going to get the ball back, but J.J. just must have got on that bottom of that pile. And
well, he might have bit somebody.
Had his mind made up what he wanted to do.
J.J. just a real tough player, plays that defensive end spot, and he and Eric Sock on the other side have really been instrumental this evening in that East defense.
First down and 10 for the East. 7:21 to go. Ball inside the 50. Give us the stump around the right side. Not a lot of blocking. We got a couple of penalty flags down in a couple of different areas. We'll have to check out what the business is all about.
I think we're going to see a wash right here. One on the East and one on the West.
Holding on the East and a clipping on the East. So take your pick.
We're not going to see a wash. What is that, 30 yards?
I think the West team would take that right now if they could get it. Their defense has risen to the occasion several times tonight. They gave up that big pass play, and they were just overpowered on that first touchdown. In the second, the big pass play broke their backs, but they were pressed early in the second quarter and held their ground. They need to do it here.
They really have. The West team defense has kept the ball club in the ball game, and had the West offense been able to generate some offense, perhaps the game would not be where it is right now. But we're going to mark off 15 against the East, and we're going to start all over here.
They took the holding penalty, declined the clipping penalty. 7:13 to go, fourth quarter. Chad Murray in charge of the East offense. Ostermeyer in motion to the far side. Give us to Eckhout up the middle on the dive and across the 50 to the 45, down to the 44-yard line.
Eckhout again showing some of that 4.5 speed that he has. Very quick off the ball. He's about at full speed after his second step. And we'll see it again right here. Murray on the handoff. Some good blocking up front. Good block out right there, right in the backfield. And then Eckhout stepping up to the outside and didn't catch the number of that van that hit him. But a good hit.
We've called his name several times now. One we haven't called is Jason Main out of Sutherland, who made that stop. Talk a little bit about him in a moment. Second down and 6. Murray dropping back to pass. Penalty flag, and Plastarodi is short. And into a little bit of crowd, but we do have a penalty flag in the play. Want to mention Jason Main, who made that last tackle out of Sutherland, an 8-man player, one of the last players selected. And Gilliland told us yesterday that he was probably the toughest defensive player that he had. And he showed it there on this last play. However, we do have a penalty, another procedure call against the East. That'll set him back 5 more yards.
Should also point out, Bill, about Jason Main, the 8-man player. He stepped up into this, let's call it Class A competition, played very well. Again, as you mentioned, one of the best hitters on the team. And he also qualified for that 8-man All-Star game and played that earlier in June and was a standout in that ball game too. So he's headed to either Hastings or Dome this fall. 5'10", 195.
Penalty was declined by the West, make it 3rd down and 13, ball on the 45 of the West. Brody and Benda in the big back attack. Backus to Benda. Murray flushed out of the pocket. He'll need room to run. He's tripped up in the backfield. Getting in there to make the play.
I think it was John Stair, I believe, number 81 for the West.
Defensive end came up and made the stop.
Number 70, I think that's number 70 for the West. He's putting pressure, Jim Hessler, to the inside, and then you see Stair come from the backside and run him down.
Stair played for Keith Stair at Kimball County High School, just down the road from Scottsbluff. 4th down and a bunch. Call it maybe 15. And Shane Height in to punt for the East team, back deep. Gary Flukinger and Nick Vigil. High punt by Height. Fair catch called for by Flukinger. And it's going to be down at the 26-yard line by Troy Paisley. And that's where the West will take over with 6:22 to go in the fourth quarter. West trails by 14-0.
Punt that time, as you mentioned, skied and took kind of a West bounce, had it bounce the other way. It hit it about right at the 25, 24-yard line and bounced back. But it gave that East team time to get down under it and unfortunately bounced the other direction. Otherwise, the Westmen pinned back closer to their goal line.
First down and 10 for the West. Rick Hinn, the quarterback. A single setback behind him. Gilliland in motion to the near side. Hinn dropping back to pass. A little pressure. Let's fly one. Nick Vigil out there, and he got in his hands, and he dropped it. At the 50, Nick Vigil. Couldn't come up with a pass reception when he had it, but hope you're enjoying all the action of this football game next weekend, 1 weekend from tonight. The Nebraska ETV Network will present the 31st Annual Shrine Bowl Classic on a tape-delayed basis from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Join veteran sportscaster Ray Scott and my colleague sportscaster Adrian Fiala and former Husker wide receiver Frosty Anderson for complete game coverage. That's the 1989 Shrine Bowl Classic next Saturday night at 9 p.m. here on your Nebraska ETV Network. 2nd down and 10. Ball in the 26. West trying to get something going. Hinn dropping back to pass. Pressure from Rank, and he's going to get him in the backfield down around the 13-yard line.
Well, we said his name several times this evening. That's J.J. Rank right there. Relies a great deal on strength and quickness, and you'll see him come uncontested from the left side. Hinn never had a chance, and J.J. had all the chance and put him right in the turf. And, well, you just can't do it any better than that. Great effort.
Again, 3rd down and a bunch, about 21.
Looks like he got part of his name ripped off.
Well, his name,
a test to his aggressiveness right there.
His name right, of course, to the front of his jersey on that jersey mix-up. I'll tell you about that in a moment. 3rd down and 22. Hinn dropping back to pass again. Here comes Rank from the weak side. Ball's a floater. Lance Rohde picks it off at the 27 to the 20. He's to the 15 to the 10. Down to the 3-yard line. Lance Rohde.
Well, you can credit that also to J.J. Rank. Rohde caught the ball, and he'll get the glory. J.J. Rank put the pressure on, caused the pass to be vastly underthrown. Good job by Rohde.
Rick Hinn really victimized. I think that may be his 2nd or 3rd interception.
Here you'll see the pressure by Rank right here. Number 60 coming from the left, and he forced it. Actually got inside the quarterback's arm. He short-armed it, threw it short, and Rohde able to pick it off. Rohde Defensive Player of the Year last year. Actually, Defensive Player of the Year for 2 years in a row.
And Rohde lining up in the backfield in the veer with Scott Benda behind Kevin Dimmitt, the quarterback. 1st down and goal to goal. Ball on the 3. They give us to Benda. He's knocked down at the 5, and he's not going to pick anything up. Maybe lost a couple of yards.
Well, we saw the big back attack right there, but the West able to rise to the occasion and put him down.
Jim Fahrenkopf on the sidelines.
I have J.J. Rank and J.J. 2 excellent defensive plays.
Thanks a lot. We knew they were going to start passing the ball since they're down 14-0. Coach Honey gave me the green light, so I just went both times. Nothing stopped me.
Well, you put the East in an excellent position now. You guys go up 21-zip now, and you got it made.
Yeah, hopefully we can stick this touchdown in, and we'll be ready to celebrate tonight.
Great job, J.J.
Thanks.
2nd down from the 4-yard line. Goal to go. Ostermeyer in motion. Dimmitt cuts inside down to about the 2-yard line. And a penalty flag on the play.
Well, J.J. brought up a good point there. When you know that team's going to have to throw the football to get back in the game, basically what you do, or what you can do, is lay your ears back. J.J. said he got the green light. And that's what we're talking about there. Just go for it. Go for broke. And you can come up with big plays like that.
I know.
And that's what happens. You get the pass interceptions. You get the ball down close. We'll see a procedure penalty there on the East. That'll move the ball back 5. But that's a good position to be in as a defender, because as a linebacker or defensive lineman at the ends, you can just lay back, Bill, and go for it. It's fun.
West getting a little bit of breathing room here. Ball's going to be marked at the 8-yard line. Still 2nd down and goal to go with that procedure penalty. Kevin Dimmitt from North Platte calling the signals for the Eastmen. Give us to Dodson. He'll get down to the 5. That'll make it 3rd down.
All evening, Dodson able to make pretty good yardage up to the inside, and the West shut him down that time. Short game.
3 minutes, 10 seconds, now 9. 8 seconds to go in this ball game. East leads 14-0 over the West, and they're threatening once again. Ball spotted just outside the 5, call it to 6. 3rd down, goal to go. Ostermeyer in motion. Dimmitt calls the count. Dropping pass. He can't get anything away, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield, knocking him down to about the 14-yard line.
Looks like number 72 right there.
Mike Armstrong, the middle guard, coming in for the sack.
Mike enjoying that sack. Mike's dad's a principal at Baird. Mike was a Class C All-State player and also an academic All-State player. We're going to see a field goal here.
Corey Sheen from Minden. 27-yard attempt. Kick is up. And straight through. Kick is good. 17-0 is our score. Corey Sheen, one of the better kickers in the state of Nebraska, showing why this after his 1988 season, his senior year at Minden.
Well, Mark Skillstad was very concerned about the kicking game, and I'll tell you what, they've kicked pretty well on the east side tonight, evidenced by that field goal. They've done pretty good job in that punting category too, Bill. So some of his fears allayed here this evening.
You don't suppose Corey hurt him? Maybe went out and practiced a little bit late last night and said, I'll show you, coach.
Sometimes that'll have those kind of comments as a way of spurring that activity.
Mark Skillstad got to be happy with the way things are going with his staff on that east sideline. Talking to Gene Hunting, who J.J. Rank alluded to in his interview with Jim Fahrenkopf. Gene, the coach at Cozad, took them to the state playoffs for the first time in school history last year. So a lot of talented coaches on both sidelines tonight. Kick taken about the 20, across the 25 to the 35. He's at the 40. Nate Green knocked out of bounds across the 50-yard line. Corey Sheen, the kicker, coming back to make the play. Nate Green picked the ball up at about the 15-20-yard line and got across the 50. And finally, the West with a little field.
We'll see Nate Green exhibit that 4.6 speed we talked about earlier. He's going to run up into the pack and then shoot out to the right. A little deception there. Pretty good blocks to the inside. And now it's a foot race. Speaking of foot races, he'll be going to Nebraska Wesleyan this fall. He probably won't compete in football, but he'll be on that track team, Bill. And I think he'll probably do very well with respect to that track squad.
And he's from right here in Scottsbluff, so trying to enjoy a little bit of glory while he's back in his home field before he hangs up the cleats and shoulder pads. Timeout called by the East. 2:09 to go, fourth quarter. They lead by 17, but a little miscommunication on their defensive side. And they'll go over to the sideline to talk about it.
Nate Green, not only an excellent athlete and football player, but performs well in the classroom. He was a National Honor Society member and also a member of the All-State academic team. Going to a very fine university at Nebraska Wesleyan in Lincoln. And we wish him well.
Well, we got a minute. You see the score, East leading the West 17-0. We mentioned earlier in the ball game about the jerseys, and it's been easier said than done to pick these players out, I think. But a little mix-up with a sporting goods company that did the jerseys just in a matter of a few days. They kind of have a little rush job, and the problem turned out that they're looking at the west sideline.
There you see
folks.
An East, actually a West player with an East jersey, and as Bill mentioned, a problem with the printing. The players' names, numbers, and colors are all correct, but it's simply that the East is West and the West is East, so that explains it.
Come on. Made some national headlines and certainly threw us for a loop when we first heard about it. But,
Bill McAtee would love it at USA Today.
But we've gone pretty good so far. Back to action. Hinn's pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 48-yard line of the East.
2:06 left in the ball game and counting. Right, well, no, that clock stopped right there. We see the scoring drive, 27-yard field goal.
Corey Sheen doing the kicking for the East, and looking at his information sheets and then some of the things that we picked up prior to the game. He won the first 3 ball games for Minden High School last season on field goals, so you knew he had a strong leg coming in.
And he was an all-state kicker and an all-conference linebacker, so.
Nighthauser, the guard around.
I was waiting to see that play, and I'm glad we did. Go ahead and explain it, Bill.
Well, Coach Gilliland mentioned it to us yesterday that you're going to see this, and so we waited and waited and waited. But Nighthauser, the guard, lined up, and
watch number 68. He turns around. Now, he's got to be completely turned around and facing backwards. He becomes an eligible ball carrier, and this play, of course, was mentioned to the referees ahead of time. But he said, I'll guarantee you'll see it once or twice. Well, we haven't seen it now with the 1:59 left in the ball game, and we're going to see some penalty yardage tacked on. But basically what happens is that offensive guard turns around, faces completely backwards. The quarterback reverse pivots. He sticks the ball in that guard's stomach, and then he turns around and goes. It's kind of like the old play that we ran at Nebraska where the ball is put on the ground. High school, you can do it this way. In college, it's got to be the fumble play where the ball is put on the ground.
Personal foul on the face mask. Moves the ball down for the West team, and the pass from Hinn to Vigil goes out of bounds, incomplete. But Gilliland told us that he was going to run it, and we've kind of been waiting for it all night long, and we finally got to see it. He said he ran it in practice with Nienhauser one day, and the first time he ran it, and he didn't move. And then he realized he had to run, then he got knocked down. So
stage fright.
Gave him a second chance in the ball game.
It's good to see. It's fun to see those plays. The other play we talked about on the kickoff was what he calls a cluster return. The ball's kicked off, all the players gather around in a cluster. The ball carrier runs up into the middle, and then the ball's handed off in that cluster, and then it's up to that kick team to determine who's got the football. And we're going to see a timeout right now by the West, but that's the other play that we thought we might see, but we haven't seen. But it's great to see that guard play, and now Terry's going to go out and chat with his players.
And it's just great to see the coaches wanting to have a little bit of fun and make this game for the players and for the fans, and they really let the players enjoy themselves in the training camps and in the dorms. And we've even heard some stories about the coaches having a little bit of fun on the outside with some laundry cart races. Of course, they denied that to us.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the laundry cart races because they told us not to.
Sure.
Who'd want to talk about laundry cart races and things like that? But
it's been fun, and it's been a well-run all-star game, and we enjoyed bringing it to you here on Nebraska TV, and we hope you enjoy all the coverage. It's a game, a lot of people say it's a game for pride. The western part of the state really wants to show what they have to offer, and they've really done that, and they've really made a mark with their hospitality and with some exciting football.
And you got people like Jay Ossemeyer. He apparently took Kevin Dobson's bed apart and also started in the laundry room. So it's been fun. There's some movement there.
Little reverse. Nick Vigil going around the left side, trying to pick up a block from him. Running a long way, trying to get upfield. And he's got ran about 75 yards to pick up 3. Tackled by Tony Swanson of Arapahoe. And Richard McKinney giving chase.
That time Nick came back on the reverse, and who else but Eric Sack over there, forcing the play back. You'll see it here now. Here's the pitch to the one-back. Vigil taking the drop. Now Eric Sack out there, number 8. Okay, he turns him back in. Now Vigil's going to run back another 45 yards and pick up, what'd you say, Bill?
I think he might have gotten 4 or 5 on the play. That's a long way to run. Mike Rozier scored on that against UCLA in 1983, but
he also scored at a play like that against the University of Missouri years ago. Probably one of the toughest performances I've ever seen by anybody. Mike Rozier performed that afternoon with a hip pointer. And a play just very similar to that. He was able, I believe, well, I can't remember if memory serves me right, but went up scoring on the play eventually. But there you see the West squad. They're, you can tell who's ahead. Smiles on the face. What do we got? About 1:19 left in the ball game.
And the West team would really like to get on the board. They trail 17-0, as Adrian said, 1:19 to go in the 1989 West Nebraska All-Star football game. It'll be 3rd down and 6 when we resume play from this timeout. But it's really been a good experience for the players, for the coaches, for us, and for the fans. The city of Scottsbluff really gets behind this All-Star game. 3rd down and 6. Rick Hen, the quarterback. Terry Gilliland will be the single setback. Playing for pride. Want to get on the board here. The draw to Gilliland. Trying to get outside, trying to get Eckhout, and he can't do it. Bart Eckhout doing another great job from that defensive cornerback, defensive back position.
Boy, that's tough, too, as you well know, Bill, to come up and make a tackle like that. A guy that can run like Gilliland. But Eckhout's in that same category. He's about 4'5", 4'6", and a 40. Great quickness and great speed.
One of the areas that Skillstead was worried about coming into the game was the play of his defensive backs against the speed of the West. And
they've done the job tonight.
They've done the job. They lead 17-0, and they're not giving up either. They've a little pride for that East team. They'd like to see that shutout. 55 seconds now to go in the ball game. Hen out of the shotgun, trying to hit Vigil. In and out of his hands. Nice hit by Richard McKinney of Ord. Coming up from the cornerback, making the stick on Vigil.
And that's why Vigil, of course, not able to hold on the ball, because McKinney right there making a great form tackle on him and able to separate him from the football. Good hit. Excellent hit by that defensive back.
Clock is stopped with 48 seconds now. 2nd down and 10. Gilliland did pick up a 1st down on that sweep to the left, giving his team a little bit more breathing room. In the shotgun, the snap rolls on the ground. Hen picking it up, trying to hit Triddle, and the ball's in and out of his hands, falling down at the 5-yard line. Jason Langford with the coverage.
Well, Terry Gilliland said at halftime, we're going to see it again right here. You're going to see Langford put the hit. There's a good job to handle that ball. And then Hinn hits the receiver, but not able to hold on to it. Been several balls like that tonight. It's been unfortunate those receivers have not been able to grab the handle and go. There you see the trips formation to the right side.
Hinn rolling to his right, looking in the end zone. Trittle's going to catch it short of the end zone, about the 5-yard line. They flooded the end zone with 3 receivers, and Trittle just kind of did a little button hook at the 5 and came back and caught the pass. And I believe picked up the first down. He did. That'll stop the clock. First down and 10, just outside the 6-yard line. Call it the 7.
Bill, and if they line up in that trips formation again, look for the receiver coming underneath from the backside, because that time he was wide open over the middle. Depends on whether or not they'll just let it go that direction.
Hinn trying to get Vigil inside the corner of the end zone and knocked away by Sheen and Richard McKinney, Tony Swanson all around in that corner. So the West really trying to save a little pride, get in that end zone, and avoid the shutout.
And that's, of course, what's paramount on the East team defense mind right now is they want to preserve that shutout. We've got 25 seconds left to go. They've got the big bagel on the board.
2nd down and goal. Gilliland in the eye. Terry Lowe, the fullback. Hinn dropping back to pass. Ball knocked out of bounds, knocked away, and they're going to call a completion. Lance Rohde on the coverage. And what are they going to give him? I think it's an incomplete pass, the officials say.
Yeah, Lance was there to strip the ball. As we take a look at Dana Edwards moving back in the huddle, we'll see it again right here from the zone camera. Watch number 41 again. He's right there, and he strips him away from the football. You know, he may have caught it, but I think he was out of bounds. Yep. I think that was the call by the referee.
Dana Edwards has good hands coming in the ball game, but when you got an extra one in there, that tends to make it a little difficult. We're going to have a timeout called. A little mix-up, I think, on the East defense. They want that shutout pretty bad, and they call timeout. They don't want the West in that end zone. 19 seconds to go.
I don't know if they had enough players on the field, Bill. There's another player. Well, there's 2 that came in, 2 coming off, so perhaps they had enough, but obviously something wrong in the alignment. They call that timeout. Great night for a game.
Yeah, we were scared the weather might hamper us. We thought maybe this afternoon we'd have a little bit of rain. That hasn't come about. The temperatures have dropped. It's been fairly comfortable. Had a little breeze blow through the booth that sent us for a
perfect night for a football game. Great support, as we've talked about, by the fans of the community. I just couldn't ask for a better situation.
Got a moment. We also want to take some time out and thank Riley Jane Hamilton of the Lincoln Star for helping us out.
You bet.
She helped us out, sort out who these players are, and she does a great job for the paper and really does a good job in covering high school sports. So a big thanks to Riley, and we're getting set to go. Final 19 seconds of this ball game. East leads 17-0. Rick Hinn, 3rd down and goal to go. Nate Green in motion out of the backfield. Trying to hit Trittle, and we're going to have an interference call. Right.